Okay, open VNC for you to install Oracle Home, right? Open your VNC.
Okay, 1 second. Yes, hello. No solo mi apec. Oh.
Yes.
Hey, Herman, please, can you let me record?
Okay, Anita.
Thank you.
Okay, connect to Oracle. Connect as Oracle.
Okay. Let's use this. Ready?
Okay, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay. CD to downloads, CD/downloads. Okay, before that, can you just CD enter? PWD ls minus A.
A.
Yes, A. This is to list the hidden files. Enter. Okay, you have your bash profiles already, so just go straight to download, CD downloads, CD/downloads.
Enter.
Enter. List. You want to CD to Oracle database? No. Wait, let me see. Oh yeah, Oracle database 11G release 2. CD to that directory. So you can just copy, not the first one. Yes.
Right here?
Yes, that one. CP.
Isn't that pretty like putty?
No, I don't think so. You cannot do it in VNC like that.
You need to shift the terminal up so you will see the option to paste. Now shift the whole terminal. Other one.
The whole from the top. Okay.
From the top.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
so
Yep. Space.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, free space now.
Just enlarge it. Enlarge it. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's it.
Telling you, man. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Same, list it again. Okay, CD to database. Someone can become mad with this nonsense.
Yes.
Yes, list again. Okay, now you want to /run installer. So you want to execute that run installer file.
Yes. Should I go there? Should I go ahead and put my email?
No.
Just kidding.
And check, I wish to receive security updates via Oracle support. You want to uncheck that? Uncheck.
All right. Uncheck.
Then go to next. It's actually a good reminder because you guys will be installing Pepsi soon.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Install database software only. Yes. Go to next. Single instance.
Yes.
Single instance. That's it. The first one. Move on. Okay. Well, whatever language you speak.
I can't remember what language I speak. English is already over there.
Yes, it is. Enterprise edition. Go on to the next. Move on. Next. You see how it allow you to move on, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Earlier today, I told you you could just install it. So I guess you just forgot to. Normally, since you already created it, wouldn't let you. So you would have to edit the inventory file to remove the path of the previous one. But it's good. Move on. Go to the next one. Next part.
Excuse me, what are we doing?
He deleted his Oracle Home by mistake.
Oh, okay.
Okay, finish. It happens, but it shouldn't happen. But it's okay. You'll be more careful next time, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Otherwise, we have the video.
Oh my good. Troubleshooting. Okay, you're good. It's going to install and you can just continue what we're doing. You're good.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. That was nothing. Okay. Any question for last class? No? Okay, I'm going to share my screen. You can start the class.
Emerald, please, I have a problem with my, I was trying to back up and
Share your
have
screen.
error, I couldn't fix it.
Share your screen. Share your screen. I need you guys to. Okay, today is basically the last day where I'm actually going to be doing much practice. So all the other days or the next days, you guys will be basically doing most of it, and I'll just be observing because it's the last practice. I mean, yeah, that I will be. Okay. So what? Today's class will be very interesting, I believe. I think it's very interesting.
Oh, where's the point?
You forgot your password?
No.
Open a different seminar. It might keep saying the same thing. Open it.
Yeah, let me just, okay.
Mr. Joseph.
So,
I hope that someone didn't hack into your server and change your password. That would be...
This normally happen when you put the password the first time and it's wrong. Even you try putting the right password afterwards.
The first time if it's wrong, the second time you enter it should go through.
What about the third time? If the second time is wrong and the third time is correct?
I don't know.
Because I'm talking because it has happened to me. Like even today, the same thing happened. The first time and the second time I repeated the same password. It showed the same thing. I kept putting the same password like 5 times.
I can see. Yeah.
Right password.
Sorry.
And they were actually the right password.
Exactly. Class 26 now.
I've never seen that. Sometimes I miss the first one, and then when I put the right password the second time, it goes through. But maybe it's when you do it the third time. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. Server and expectations network. Okay. It looks like you're having connection issues.
Joe, your problem is computer. Is computer basics.
Oh gosh.
Okay, Miss Marinette, it's okay. I will share.
Oh,
I will share my screen then, and we'll do it together. You just tell me what's actually going on.
Oh.
Okay.
Can I just send the picture
in the group? Okay, send a picture.
I took the picture, yes.
Okay, take a picture. I'm trying to.
I did. I already sent it.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Oh, maybe I should stop sharing.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so. Okay, so Miss Marinette, what's your student ID?
It's 6604.
604?
Yes.
It's funny how. Okay.
No, 6604. 6.
What database is giving you
ORCL.
ORCL? It's always ORCL for some reason. What's going on with ORCL?
I don't know. Maybe I won't use it no more. Since the weekend is giving me hard time. So.
Crash it as much. That's good.
You say you will not use it anymore.
Yeah, I will crash it. Trust me.
Yeah.
I couldn't do nothing on the whole weekend.
No space. Your UO1 is full. Okay. So, yes, I wish you had the computer. I wish your connection was working. Okay.
Maybe I should try again.
Yes, I would like that. It would have been better if you were the one doing this. So, when you're first you want to check to make sure that you know which directory is full, right? So you know from that one is the root directory. So UO1,
01.
etc, like all those, right? In this one.
Yeah.
This one is /boot. If you connect to the root directory, you see that you have /boot. You'll see that you have /dev, you have /data/download. So the file system, those file systems, right, they were mounted on those directories. Now, usually for that one, we say that it's the directory for U01 simply because we know that most of the data are in U01. So now we move to see APP, since the redo are the only 69 megabytes. And then you're going to list it again, and then DU space minus SH. Oh, again. DU minus SH. Okay, now Aura inventory is only 2.6 and Oracle 11 as expected. Okay, now this is where we want to pay attention to. If you did it, now you can see that you're having two problems here. You've not been cleaning up your ADR for one, and you shouldn't have 3 GB worth of data in the FRA. It's not normal. It means that you didn't change the recovery file destination. You just left it to the default when you create a database, which is wrong. In your script, even when you want to create the script, right, you can change the recovery file destination. Even with DBCA, you can change recovery file destination so that it goes to FRA. You guys know that during the exam, you guys will be creating you guys would have something like 4, maybe 5 databases, but minimum 4 or 5 if it's someone else, if it's me, for example. But you guys will have minimum 4 database. So if you're sending all of your backups that you'll be doing, all of your archive logs information whatever, all of them, you will be sending them to the FRA. In U01, trust me, it might take you 3 weeks to finish that exam because you would have to go back. It would crash your databases, and it's just yeah. You shouldn't see that anymore. It's not good. But let's first go to, I'll let you take care of the FRA to change the FRA and then move the files from one directory to another and change the file destination, the recovery file destination. But I can see that you have a lot of data in your archive, in your ADR. Okay, I see it's coming from the listener directory. So we are going to move to the listener directory. Listener directory is causing problems. Since it's the same directory, I'm just gonna go. Sometimes I wonder, how can the listener get, normally it should be from alert and trace. Okay. Now,
Emerald,
yes.
Can we clear, like you are, the direction where you are in the listener now, where you see the alert and the other stuff, can we clear any stuff there? Where you are now?
What do you mean clear? Like delete them?
For example, you just said it's the listener that is taking a lot of space, right?
It's not the listener itself. It's the alert log, the log files, the alert, the trace files that are causing, right? So they are just alert files. You can delete them. So the first place you want to go to when you're having space issues in your U01, make sure you first go to your ADR. That's the first place, because it wouldn't hurt your database. Because you can go to your archive logs, you can go and delete backups, but you don't know your database is up, but it's already crashed. Like this morning, we had that problem. Someone to save space went on to delete the backups, and the database is, it should, by the grace of God, There should be a solution for that.
All
But
right. I was asking because I had a similar issue with my user one. So I cleared a lot of stuff, and here the same thing, like you see here, I had the same issue. So I had like doing it with my group. So someone just told me I should not touch anything. Since I went to listener, and like I said, no, let me just allow it there. I never touched anything there.
who told you not to touch anything?
I was just afraid, and since I just saw listener, so I will just go back and see from what you're doing now. I'll go and clear that.
It's not the listener itself. They are just alert log files of the listener.
All right.
And even if you delete them, as soon as you start using the listener, as soon as you connect or whatever you do using the listener, it will recreate those files.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
So even the directory themselves, even if you remove the directory, it would recreate the directories. So you don't need to worry about that. But there is no need to delete the directories because they are not heavy. It's just the content of the directory that you need to delete. Okay, so I think we're good.
So we have to delete from the alert log?
Excuse me?
You said that we have to go through the alert?
Delete in the real work environment, you want to first only basically delete the alert log files and check the status of your database. Check if there is, even before running a backup, check if there are corrupt blocks in any, because sometimes your database can be up and running and you think the database is fine, but it's crashed. It's just that because it's not a critical file like system or undo that's crashed, you think it's fine, but it might be CSOCs. It might be users that's crashed, but you don't know, but you think that, okay, since it's open, I can do whatever I want. And you can even shut down and start a database again, but it's still crashed or in trouble. Because if you try to perform a backup of that database, it would fail because you have corrupt blocks in some of the files, critical. So every time your backup would fail, you would fail. So every time before taking a backup, make sure that this is like in a real work environment. Before doing a backup, make sure that you check whether you have corrupt blocks, right? That's simple command. You can validate data file 1 or validate the whole database to check it. So you will be able to know that, okay, this one is corrupt, let me try to use, and you would actually be able to recover from the previous backup, or if you did incremental backups, you would be able to know how to restore it. But the problem is that you think the database is fine because you shut down, you start up, you shut down, you start up, you think it's fine, but it's not. It's already crashed. If you cannot perform a backup of the database, just wait until the day it's crashed. You're in trouble, right? And you will lose so much data. So this is for just a parenthesis, so we know. I think we did validate here before, right? I think. Okay, so I think you're good.
Hey, Emerald.
You're good. 88. I'm not gonna do your I won't do your, what do you call it? Your fast recovery area, because you should do it. And with your group, you guys should do it together, but I won't do it.
Emerald, you want her to increase her flash recovery area or what? What
I
do you
don't
want
want
to
to increase it. Look at the present working directory. There's a problem. It shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be located here. You don't have enough space. You don't have enough space. You see, like in the root directory for U01, you only have 16 gigabytes total. And in the same directory, that's where you have your Oracle home. That's where you have /etc, Oratab, and all those things. Let me show you. Let me cd2/. So I'm going to show you. You guys see all those directories? Okay. So you have boot, that's the one here. Dev, that's here. Aura data, somewhere here. Downloads, that here. So all the other directories that you guys see, bin, etc, right? Home, lib, all those directory, lost and found, media, misc, MA, all those, UO1, they are in this one, literally.
Wow.
They're all mounted on that one, and it's only 16 gigabyte. Like /etc is not heavy, right? So you know that it's not heavy at all. But you don't want to put archive logs, backups in that directory, in that directory, because you don't have enough space. You need to make sure you keep that's why every time you run into so many errors or whatever happens, you should go and clear your alert or trace directory. Always make sure you do that. Always, you don't have enough space. You really don't. But in Aura Data, you have plenty of space. You see, you have 99 gigabyte. You have plenty of space. You good?
Okay.
I think now you should be good. You connect to Arman. And if it's full, there's nothing you can do. If it's full like this, you cannot open your database. It appears like it's crashed, but it's not even crashed. It's just a matter of fixing the space.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now we are going to start the lesson for the class for today.
Let me ask. I have a question
Thank you,
about.
Sure. What's
Emma,
your...
when your Aura data is like almost 100 full, what's the best practice to clean it up? Go and remove the old.
100% full?
Yeah.
The first practice is make sure you know all your databases, right? All the databases that you have. Sometimes people, normally, Aura data shouldn't be that full. No matter what you're having, Aura data is not supposed to be too full. For example, I have many databases, actually. I have from 10, 11, 11.2, 11.3, 12, multiple databases, but my Aura data is not even over 50%. And I use it a lot. Why? Because you need to make sure that when the space come at a certain level, you make sure that you go ahead and you delete, expired, delete, obsolete, delete, like you removed what you don't need anymore. The thing is, when your Aura data comes all the way to being 100 or 90% full, you might have some old database stuff from DB1 that are still in your /Aura data. Maybe not the files themselves, like of the live location, but the backups are still there. They are still in FRA somewhere. You have archive logs, all archive logs. You didn't remove them. When you drop a database, right, you want to make sure that, okay, I'm dropping that database seriously. Okay, let me go and delete obsolete archive log files and all that, and register that database if it registered in the recovery catalog, and then drop it. That's the best practice, because it would be occupying a lot of space for no reason. So make sure that you first start with the database that you don't use anymore. Another thing, very important, when you take a backup, make sure that you know what backup it is. You cannot just have a backup, let's say, in /Aura data. What's going on? In /Aura data, and you have just backup here. Like you just have a directory backup, and when you open the directory backup, you just have data files. Okay, it's the backup of which database? And when we ask you, say, I don't know. Is this serious? Is it?
No.
It's not serious, right? Okay. But I understand, right? That's all the point to learn. That's the whole goal, right? The whole point of learning. At least we know that in her backup directory, we know it's ORCL. But I've seen in /backup data files, and then it's like 1 month later, you ask what data files are those? You don't know. I don't know. I forgot. You see, they are useless. Just remove them because you wouldn't even know which database to apply them to in the first place. So she's having a lot of. She looks like she's. This is from DB1, right? You see, Europe 2, glitz, DB1, country, DB1, country 1, DB1, music, DB1, MS, DB1, right? Rice, I don't know. Sound, DB1, you know, tones, DB1. So she's still having a lot of mini databases that shouldn't be there anymore. But it's okay.
How you delete it?
Just remember that on exam day, you guys will have to create 4 databases, and all the 4 databases would have to be open at the same time. You won't be shutting down one database and open the next. No, all of them will have to be open at the same time. And you might even have 5 databases. It depends. Okay, I'm just letting you know. The exam is coming up. Okay. I will use your database, Miss Marinette, to do the. I know it's not crashed.
Don't crash it.
It's not, but I'll try to crash it. No, I'm joking. Okay, it's open. Okay, so today we are going to go back to finish with data pump and all the practices of data pump. Today was a long day, but it's okay. So forgive me if I'm a bit tired. I'm kind of a bit tired.
We understand.
So understand me and pay attention. If I made a mistake, please let me know. Oh, you forgot L, you forgot this, you forgot that. I slept really late yesterday. Okay. Because of some troubleshooting. Okay. So I'm going to put it here. I'm going to do the steps here. Okay, the first thing I want us to do is run an export job with a power file, right? We talked about power file. I know some of you probably already practiced this, but the power file can be used with, as long as you have EXPDP, you can use it with any version. So last time, I think Renata was asking it's only for 12C, but no, it's for, you can use it with whatever you want. You can even use power file with SQL loader. Okay, so we are going to export something that you're about to create. So I need to create a user, create user, evening, identified by evening. Is it spelled right? Let me hide that floating, okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Uh-oh. Why is it taking so long to create a user?
Slow connection.
It's not even 9, really? Really? Wow. Hmm.
Herman, please take your message.
Only a user.
Okay, this is unusually so. Let me check. Let me use the top command. I don't know if it's no, it's not the connection, it's the database.
Please, what are you doing? What is the top command?
Excuse me. It's easy to see all the background processes that are running and for how long. You see that the first been running for 160 days. That's half a year. Okay. No, that's
you
not
the
half.
first one.
Yeah. So we will just try to kill some of those. Don't worry about the top comment. You guys will see that for next chapter. Probably with Mr. See, it's still not. So her server, it's not the server, the database. But she only has one running. Sure, no, it's not. The CPU is low. It's only 2%. No, it's not here. It's not. It's not. That's not. Okay, let me connect to SQL because it's unusually slow. I'm trying to see if there's something that's being done in the background causing it to be that slow. Aman. Aman. Okay. Maybe it was a connection issue. Okay. We cancel here. And then we create the user again. This is actually the whole point of next chapter, performance tuning. I'll try to kill some processes. The other one are really not taking much CPU. I think 40 database is fine. Is it the connection? I'm confused. Everything else is going smoothly. Let me try to connect to another database and see if it does the same thing. One thing is sure, it's not a server issue. The server is going fast. Okay, so this has to do with that specific database in particular. Okay. So this one, that would be good for practice for performance tuning. We did it once. This, let me exit, connect back, and try to do it again and see if it's still slow after using the top. And then your database is a good candidate for SQL tuning, but this is not the topic for today. Considering how slow it is, it would be a really good to try to troubleshoot it, to tune it, but it's okay. Your TLS demo is fine. So I will just need to use a different database to do the import. Okay, so we create a user. Now we are going to grant connect resource to evening. Grant, what else? Data pump underscore exp underscore full. Really? Okay. We are going to create a directory, create this directory as slash or a data slash pump. Oh, the name of the directory. Should we name it? Mary Dear. Okay. Okay. Print, read, write on directory, Mary Dear to evening. Okay. Now we're good. Now we are going to create a PAR file to do our export job. So what do we need? We need a directory, right? For the export job. Name of the directory is Marideer. What else do we need? Oh, I need to create a table. Create table evening dot
Class.
As select all from HR dot employees. Okay, table created. So the name of the table we want to export is class. Dump file is class.dump. Log file is class.log. Let's check something. Select status from $3 encryption underscore wallet. Close. We could have added parameter encryption underscore password if you were doing practice. If your wallet was still open, you would need to specify. Otherwise, it would export the table or the object, right? But it would not be encrypted. It would be decrypted. Okay. Next. I think that's it. Tables. Okay. So we have it for our power file. Now we're going to create a power file. The power file can be anywhere, really. It doesn't have to be in a specific directory. So I'm just going to put the power file here. vi class.power file. And I'm going to edit it. I'm just going to add the information. I like when everything is caps. I think it looks better. Directory. But of course, it doesn't matter. You can just, okay. Yes.
Please, we try to take it slowly because last class you were so fast.
Okay, we have class for the dump file, we have class for the log file, and we have class for the power file. We have class.power for the power file. We are creating a power file here, right? Okay, let me specify, okay, some people are not. We are creating okay, so the power file is created. Now we are going to do the export. Any question? No, okay.
What's the power file again, Memorial?
It's a parameter file for the data palm job, right? So it just provides the information about the export job or the import job, or even SQL loader job. And when you use it, you execute it. We're about to do it. Now I'm going to run it. I'm going to call AXPDP, and I'm going to do it as evening, identified by evening, right? Now I need to specify the power file, which is class.power. Of course, we don't need to specify the full path because why is this bar always, okay. We don't need to specify the full path. But if I was not already in that directory, I would need to, of course, write the full path of the perf file. But since I'm already in that directory, I don't need to. What? Event to disable dropping no bit image header. What is this? What's wrong with your CSOX 2? / or data / TLS DMO / let's just see the okay, your CSOX is missing. Why is your CSOX missing? Did you drop it?
I didn't even know that.
You see, perfect example of what I was talking about here, right? You open, you shut down, you think your database is found, but your CSOX is missing. So if you try to perform a backup with Arman, just a backup without restoration, it's going to crash.
So Emma, could that be the reason why the database was so slow?
No, it's a different database.
Oh, it wasn't this one.
But maybe the other database has another problem. Maybe it has another missing file. Maybe it's the term that's missing. Maybe it's something else. That's why it would be that slow. Definitely. Didn't even come to mind. So you guys see that just being able to shut down, open doesn't mean anything. We good? I mean, it's better than having a database crash, but that one is actually really, really bad too. Because you have a whole file missing and you don't even notice because you keep shutting down, opening, and you can even perform backup. You think that, oh, my backup is running, but your backup would keep failing. And you gotta know that when backup fails, the minute you're in, and it has been failing for weeks, for months, trust me, I heard scenarios like that where backup had been failing for 3 months and you don't know what's going on. The day that database crashes, the database is gone. Like you would have to do point in time recovery to 3 months before 4 months. Okay.
So he can just disappear like that?
I don't think it disappeared. Something happened. Something must have happened. But what happened? You know, this is a very, very important step. In everything we do, is to know what did I do? What could I have done? Even if you forget, at least you should know, okay, I did this. Because if you don't know what you did, and even if I fix it, even if you end up fixing it, right? But if you don't know what you actually did, you wouldn't be able to talk about that error in an interview, for example. They usually ask you about your errors, the errors you had. But if you don't know what happened in the first place, how do you explain the error properly? Unless you make up an error, like, okay, this is what happened, and then this is how I fixed it, eventually. Or if you end up figuring out what actually happened, you know. So your CSOX is missing, and I think I'm just going to use. Okay, let me connect to Arman. Let's try to recover, to restore CSOX. Let's try to restore CSOX. Restore one. Hopefully that's the only problem. Okay. You don't have a backup. You cannot, it's not a good backup. When was that backup taken? I want to see when that backup was taken. So that it cannot be used to recover, probably because that backup, let me see, is bad. Oh, okay. That's June, no, that's June, right? Yeah, June
21st.
That's a long time ago. And that's the earliest backup you have. Because every time you just issue restore data file, it will just use the latest. So that's the latest CSOX backup. And it's like 2 weeks old. Yeah. Okay. Do you have another backup? Okay, let's backup. So technically your issue as someone else from the morning class. And I'm trying to figure out how to fix your thoughts. Because without a backup, it's not going to be easy to fix it. It's really not.
So Emerald, looking at this error, it should be a good practice to back up our database like every 1 or 2 days, right? In case something happens.
Yeah, that's the most. I think that's the whole essence of backups. Like, it's important to always run your backups, like even every day.
Right.
Okay, so yes, not every week, not every 2 days, but every week, because every day that's a lot of space. But that, yeah, but you know, normally you should have a daily backup, at least incremental backup daily, like level 1, cumulative or differential, depending on what you prioritize. I think it should be done daily, because, and then a weekly full database backup, so that if she had that problem, right, she would have been able to detect that, okay, this file was missing, and she would have been able to recover from the one from last week, right? But here, this is the one from 21st. That's a long time. That's 2 weeks ago, I think. Oh, more than 2 weeks. But she does have CSOX though from the last backup. So something happened between June 21st and July 8th.
I just want to ask something, please. Regarding what we're talking about, like backing up, for instance, if like every day or someone wants to back up, like he did the first backup was like hot backup.
Yes.
And maybe after 2 days and he wants to do another hot backup. Is it like possible, like can you delete the old ones you had to do the new hot backup?
If you're sure, honestly, if you're sure 100% that it's a good backup, how do you check it's a good backup? Before doing the backup, you check if you're having any corrupt blocks, if you have files that are corrupt. And they don't have
about the one you did before, or the one you want you will take after deleting the old one?
Before taking the backup, right? You check your database. You can do that with Arman. You can just use validate database, and it would check if there is any corrupt block in any of the data files, and it will tell you.
All right,
right?
but if everything is fine, you can just go ahead now and delete the old backup, then run your new backup.
Previous backup, exactly. Now it's safe to delete the other backup.
All right, okay.
If you
So
don't do it,
you must check before deleting the old backups.
Honestly, yes.
Right.
Honestly, I feel like I have to say you that now, because from what I've seen, yes.
So what did it say? You have to how the command you said something, Arman?
Validate database, or you can validate the data file, validate data file 2, or validate the table space. We've done it before, but we'll do it.
But it's advisable just if you validate the database, it means you have validated everything, right? No need to validate table or come again validate.
No. If you validate the database, you're good.
All right.
Yes. So just validate. It would not fix anything, but at least you would know what are the corrupt blocks that you have. And if you can ask Arman to restore it. Restore the data file, recover, to fix it. But if you have a bad backup, if you already have a corrupt backup, so it would fix it with a corrupt backup, right? And it will just tell you that, okay, we cannot do it, it's corrupt, right? So this is something that honestly I didn't even put a lot of emphasis on this. Even Micah, we didn't put emphasis on this, but I realized that, wow, this is actually very important, very important. Okay. Let me connect to Arman and show you guys, so you guys can see the comment itself. Okay. The comment is simple. Yes.
Please, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, concerning my next problem, if I use the Alman advice and repair failure, it's not going to solve the issue.
If you use, no, the thing is, if Arman sees all the files, right? Sometimes advice failure, no, it's not failing, right? The file is there. It's just that it's at the block level that there is corruption. Are you following?
Okay.
It's at the block level. So you need to basically ask Arman, when you issue validate database, it takes a while. Let me just put validate data file 2, which I know is missing anyway. Would not access data file 2. But in that specific case, for her case, since she doesn't have CSOX is missing, least failure would show the problem, would fix it. I mean, it wouldn't fix it because she doesn't have the backup, but at least it would show the error. But you might have it at the block level where your database looks fine, where the problem is taking place at the data file header level. So the data themselves within the database are fine, but the problem takes place at the data file level, data file header level, right? So when you're having that, least failure is not gonna help you. But let me go ahead and validate. Let me just use another one, for example. But in her case, it would. But since we already tried to restore, I don't think it's going to restore it. Okay, you guys can see block examined 2, blocks failing 0, 0, 0. So the data are good, the index are good, other are good. Other usually it's like the blocks in the data file headers, for example, block processed 59,000. So her system is fine, right? It's fine. But CSOX is completely missing. Now we can use list failure and see what Arman would recommend since it's physical. Wow. But it's okay though, it's good. The more troubleshoot, the better. DB2 is the whole point of DB2, to run into errors. So at least you know how to fix them later, rather than finding those errors at work and you'll be stuck.
So Emerald, registering your database in catalog does not save your database completely out of trouble in case something happens. Backup.
No, the catalog would only get the information you give to it. It won't make up data for you.
So Emerald, if the recovery catalog cannot recover in this case, when it means it depends solely on backups, right?
Yes.
So if it depends solely on backup, why then is it just like because it's being used in Arman? Because if it depends solely on backup, I'm just like thinking, for me, it means it's useless because we can still like get it from the backup.
What do you mean?
Like now, since we don't have a good backup, it means we cannot recover, which means if we had a backup, we can just like do it without, it means the recovery catalog for some point in time, like it's just like it's fast because I can like, if for example now in this case, you can still recover this file like manually.
Yes, you can, but it takes you longer. You got so in chapter 5 how it took.
So the whole essence now of the recovery catalog is just that it's faster. That's why.
I mean, it does contain information. For example, it does contain, it contains information about the metadata and about of Arman, basically, about your database. So it's very important. You cannot say it's not important. You can use a recovery catalog, even if you lost even your P file, you can use a recovery catalog. You can connect to the recovery catalog to be able to connect. When you're connected to the recovery catalog, for example, you can be able to list all the backups that you have and then identify which backup you want to use to restore your database, right? With Arman, things are all interconnected. You can check which block is corrupt, and restore that block. So instead of going and restoring the whole file, you can just with Arman, you can just restore at the block level. So think about the time that it takes. Don't get me that file, sysocs, it's offline. It's not online, it's offline. It's offline. So it's not online. It's not like in a real work environment, it would give you problem. Unless it wasn't sysocs, it was another table space like users. It will give you problems. Maybe there is a backup somewhere, hopefully. But let's see what it says. And the reason why it stopped taking backups, last time it took backup was on the 21st, is because the FRA got full. The flash recovery area got full. So it wasn't taking any more backups. Because I don't think she didn't do any backup since June 21st. That would be extra, especially it's TLS DMO. Okay, in the meantime, I need to connect to another student ID. I need a student ID, and please make sure your database is okay.
$61.
You have a password, right? Different password. What's your password again? Can you send the email, the message inbox?
User one.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. My bad.
Okay, she sent it. Okay, let's see. If/file /radar/sysocs.dbs was unintentionally renamed, restore it. Okay, automated repair option. Okay. So there is actually a way to fix this. Let's repair. Yes. Now, do you see the advantage of the recovery catalog? If you were only reading the backups, you wouldn't have been able to fix that CSOX. But Arman was able to find a way to restore and recover it from this destination. So you can see that it's gonna fix it, it's gonna repair it. Okay. But I'm still going to do it with Anita's.
Typo.
I know.
It's TLSDMO LTC.
Typo.
LTC.
Good. Thank you.
Oh.
What's
You did
wrong?
yourself.
I know. Okay. The fact that it's shut down is not good sign, but let's just be optimistic.
Emma, please, I have a question.
Yes.
This is on the practice exam that you gave us, question 27, where we were supposed to do an active duplication of class 26. And then you said we have to make sure the archive log desk is in /aura data. So in that case, we had to just add another parameter to the P file, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And when you're adding the parameters, does it matter like where you put them?
It doesn't matter, but you need to make sure that it's a specific file that is unique. That Arman is not writing archive logs information of other database to that same directory.
I mean like the order in which you put your parameters.
No, oh, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. All right, no problem.
/aura data /TLS. Sorry. Cancel this. Okay, now we are going to create the power file again. I'll just do it from the home/oracle. So I'm going to vi class.par and add the data in the power file. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to create a table. Create table evening dot class. Let's select all char. Created. Now I'm going to run the export job, but I'm going to run the export job from directly from here. Okay, it's giving some errors down there, but we'll come back to it later. Okay, expdp evening, identified by evening. File equals, where is it? Okay, if you just want to get an estimate only of the space that will be used to run the export job, you need the space it would take for you to be able to, if you don't have a dump file, if you don't have a temp file, you need to specify to know what is the space required in case it tells you table space, temporary table space empty. Okay, so it's done. Okay, we are going to use the estimate only just to get an estimation of the job. So I'm just going to create a directory. Just the same directory. The name of the table, class, and estimate only equals y. Yes, oh yes, y.
What do you mean by estimate the job?
You're getting an estimation on the space that is required. You guys notice when the table space is, where it says that table space temporary table space is empty, when the temporary table space doesn't have enough space, when the data files are not enough big to be able to perform the export or the import. So how do you estimate what should be the size? For example, if you need to add an additional temporary table space. Okay, now we have an estimation that it could only take 64 blocks, which is really minimal. So exporting that table wouldn't take a while. But for example, for some jobs, it might be 100 megabyte, 500 megabyte, if you're exporting multiple table spaces, for example. And you would need to create temporary, to add data files to temporary table space that would be able to handle the job, right? Okay, so this is good to know in that case. So that you wouldn't just be guessing what file to give, what size to give to the temp file. Okay. We good? Now we are going to do something else. We are going to use the no hub option to run the job. So I'm going to edit the power file. Actually, I don't need to. I'm just going to remove those files. So it's in slash all my data slash pump. I'm just going to remove class dump and class log, just these two. Okay, so I'm going to run the same thing again, except that I'm going to run it in the background. So for you to run it in the background, you just add no hub and then exp tp evening identified by evening power file and specify the name of the power file. Class.r. Let me check if I'm connected to, oh, I'm not in the directory for the power file. It's in /home /oracle /class.r. Okay, so now it's running, but you guys can see that it's running in the background. So if my connection fails, for example, and I'm not able to access, for example, the job fails, it would still run in the background, right? The server processor would still be running in the background to make sure that it's done, right? So even if I come 5 hours later, the job would be completed, regardless of my connection or other external factors, right? So this is very practical. Can you imagine if you're like running a long job for like hours, like an export or import for 4 hours, and after 3 hours and 58 minutes and 39 seconds, you lose your connection or something like that happens, like you lose your connection. It would abort the job. It would abort because the job wasn't running in the background. Are we good? So this is very, very, very important. So let's check if the job was actually successful simply by we cat the log file. And there we have it. the job was completed, except that it was completed in the background. You guys can also notice that there is a nohub.output file that would always be generated, and you can check it as well to check if the job was successfully completed. Are we good? And the good thing with the nohub.output is that it wouldn't just only show for, it doesn't override itself, right? So for the first one, it said that's because it was not the right directory. Class bar was not printing the directory. So we need to specify the directory since we're in a different directory. And then for the second job, we have it. So for all the jobs that you'll be using when using nohub, right? It will show you all the result basically without overriding. Unless of course you choose to delete the file. Are we good?
So the first time you do the nohub, it creates it, but then next time you do it, it's just going to add to the file.
Yeah, exactly. We're good.
So can you go back again, Emerald, and explain why you use the nohub job?
Okay, I use the nohub because let me get you an example. You guys know that the export that we are doing they are not very realistic of the export and import that people are doing at work, right? For example, at work, you might be using, some people use PuTTY at work. Well, I know someone who uses PuTTY at work, like the PuTTY we are using here. So you guys, I'm sure all of you guys notice that when it's late, or I mean, when it's 10, or maybe you have a bad connection at home or something, but it would just say PuTTY inactive and you have to restart the session, right?
PuTTY again, yes.
You guys notice that, right?
Right.
So now can you imagine you're running an export job? What do you think will happen?
It will stop too.
It will stop too. Exactly. It would stop the job, it would abort it because you're running it. You're running it, but on the operating system. Now, when you use the nohub option, it doesn't matter whether you lose the connection or not, it will be running in the background, right? By the worker process, everything would take place in the background so that even if you lose connection, even if it aborts, even if the connection ends unexpectedly and all the reason the PuTTY gives us often, right? It doesn't matter. You're good, right? Because it's running in the background anyway. So that's why nohub is very, 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 very useful and very important, in my opinion. So, are you good?
Yes.
Okay. And even if you don't use PuTTY, you might use a tool similar to PuTTY. So you never know. Okay, so instead of table, I will export the table space users. My export table space user. Then file user not done. When you use nohub option, you don't even need to actually have a log file because you have the result in the log file, in the output file. Okay. So I'm going to connect back to SQL so we can see both ways. Considering the fact that you will have the result in the output, let me just remove it. But of course, if you want, you can keep the log file, right? If you keep it, let me just, so I'm going to run the export of users. So you guys can see how it's running in the background, right? So I'm going to open another terminal, new duplicate. Yes, I'm going to open a new channel. It's still a demo, right? Yes. Okay. Still a demo. Okay, there is a view named $v long ops. It allows you to see the current jobs that are running in the background or not in your database. So $v session underscore long ops. Get used to it because you guys will be hearing about it for a while, at least. Yes, for a while. Okay. So I'm going to select, what do I want to select? Just OP name while it's running. What else? So it'll work. And what else? Start time from $v session underscore. Oh no, the job is done already. It's not going to show. Okay, that was fast. Long ops where username equals evening. Okay, so we have two different jobs here. We have the table that we exported earlier and the table space that we just exported. So we have two jobs that were done. Actually, I wanted to add elapsed time. Let me add this as well, so that you can see how long it took for the table to be exported and for the table space to be exported. Okay, so for the table, it took 18 seconds. For the table space, it took 41 seconds. Are we good?
So here, the start time is pretty much just the date.
Yes, it's basically the date.
Okay.
So it's not specific, as you can see. It's not in seconds or minutes. We good?
Emma, could you please scroll up a little bit?
Sure. Scroll up to where? Here?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What is that? After a $v session, it's underscore, right? Because I can't really see that clearly.
Yes, it's underscore. Yes, it's underscore.
All right, thank you.
Log writer. We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Now there is also, but that one is pointless to do it now because the job is not running at the moment. So we'll do it when the thing is that the import is very, very fast. But it's actually break time. It's 8. You guys want to take a break or you just finish and you guys, depends.
Well, now the network is really bad, so I don't think taking a break is really it's a good idea.
Okay. Okay. Let's not take a break. I agree. It's best to just finish at 9:30 and we'll rest. Any question? No?
Yes, no, maybe.
Okay. No question. There is another one. I think it's just best if we do it now because it's going to, but I wanted us to do it when the job was running. So it's DBA underscore, I think data pump underscore jobs.
Am I right?
I think it's jobs. Let's see.
Am I right?
Yes.
You already did the export. Would you do the import?
Of course I'll do the import.
Okay, what about using the DB link?
That the import is 10 up to 40 times faster.
Oh yeah.
So for us to check the status of a job running, it's best to do it when we are running the export because it takes more time than the import. The import is too fast. You guys will see when we import that table, it could be like a joke.
So what about using DB link?
Didn't you already did that in chapter 1?
No, I thought you said we were gonna use DB link to do import or probably export.
You
did
that in DB1 in chapter 1. Didn't you use DB link even in your assignment? In the assignment that you guys have, the prep exam, it's in there to use DB link to move data from one database to another. We didn't see that.
So that's moving data. I thought we're gonna use this method like to
Yes,
What did you think?
I thought maybe we're gonna use this import export utility to do it.
Now that's what I'm asking you. Is it not what you've been doing already all this time? Have not you been able to move? As select all from a table, right? At database link.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you just move a whole table from one database to another?
Yes, we did, ML.
Exactly.
Oh, so that's it. I thought it was something else. When we came across this chapter and the main measure of DB link, I thought it was something else.
Well, you see, you know more than you think. You already knew it, but
no, but I didn't know.
You didn't know that you knew exactly. Okay. And there's something else that you guys have been doing, but you don't know. You don't know you've been doing it. Okay, so for that one, I'll just select all from data job, it will just say no row selected because the job is done. But when the job is running, it will show you the job. It would show you that, okay, there is a data pump job that is running. It would tell you the name of the owner who's doing the job, the name of the job, right, and what's being done. Okay, actually, I want you guys to see that. I'm going to run this one again. I'll just change the name of the damn file. And I'll keep the log file. I don't even need to keep the log file. Okay. So it's running in the background, right? Now I'm going to run the same again, select all from data pump. Okay, it has not started yet. See? Okay. I don't like the way it's looking. Okay, I'll just use it like this. The name of the owner is evening. The state is running right now, so executing. The name of the job is sys_export_tablespace_01. And I also want to show you guys another one. It's DB_data pump _session. Okay. So we have the name of the job, the session type. So for the first one is the data pump job that's running. The second one is the master table. And the last one is for the worker process job that are running. Are we good? So you can use both. You can use the three to check an import job. You can use DB_data pump_sessions. You can use DB_data pump_jobs, and you can use $session_long_ops. Are we good?
To see the export or the import job.
This is the export. You can use it for both. Any question, guys? No? Okay, this is the last export we're doing. After that, we will jump to the import. Yeah. Yes.
So you said DBMS, data pump, master, and worker. What are the workers?
The server, right? The processes.
Oh, the background processes?
Yes. Server processes. Not done yet? Anyway, I'm going to connect to a different database and do the import. I'll only be importing the table because it's fast. Okay, so I'm going to import the table, but as I'm importing the table, import table. I'll be importing the table, but as I'm importing the table, I will keep the master key. So you can see that master key. And what else? Yes, I'll add a SQL file, right? So before doing that, I need to create the same users. Create user name. That's why it's good to have your script, right? It's done in 2 seconds. Do you guys have, it makes me think about something. Do you guys have a cron tab job that you guys are running at this time? No, seriously, because her ORCL is giving problem, your ORCL2 is giving issues. It's taking more than usual to...
I don't have any cron tabs.
Oh, okay. Why don't you have any cron tab?
I'm working on it.
Okay. I need to add cron tab as part of the prep exam, so I'm sure that you will be working on it. I'll add it. Oh my goodness. Slow. So slow. This one is done already. I need to figure out what's going on with what's taking place in the background. It's taking too long. Your ORCL are very good candidate for performance tuning. Very good. Okay, do you have another database?
I have the practice databases.
It's okay.
I think class 26.
Okay. Okay. So I'm creating and replacing the directory. Slash data slash pump. And I'm going to grant read, right, on the directory Mary dear to evening. That's it. Now I'm going to import that table. Import table. I have the name of the dump file for the table. Yep. Okay. Let me just check it's there. Okay, we have it.
MRA here, we don't have to grant data pump. Is data pump import full database to the evening?
Thank you. I didn't grant. Thank you. Grant data pump underscore IMP or database to evening. Thanks. Forgot the most important privilege to grant. Okay. Now I'm going to import IMPDP evening identified by evening directory Meridian file class dot emp log file equals to SQL file. What is it? Class dot SQL keep underscore master equals to yes. Are we good? Yes, no? So I'm going to run this import job. So you guys know how to use the no help option now, so I don't have to use it again for practice. Unless it gets close to 9, then I'll use it. Okay, so the SQL file is basically just a SQL file that contains the SQL statement, the DDL of the object. And keeps master allows you to keep the master table. Okay, so the job is done. Now let's list it. Now we have the SQL file here. Let's get the SQL file. Let's view it. You can see that it's the SQL statement that was used, it's the DDL that was used to create a table, class, right? So you can see create, I don't even see if it's making it better. Create class, create table evening, right? Employee ID. You know that the table evening is a copy of each other employees, right? And it goes all the way to the specifics of the table and included the default table space. Are we good? So SQL file will just allow you to have the SQL, the DDL that was used. Okay, now we are going to check the master table. Okay, question for you guys. Let me cut the output, no hub output. Look at this. Okay. What is the name of the master table? Hello? What's the name of the master table?
Evening.
The name of the master table?
Yep.
Class. It's not evening.
No.
User the dump.
The master table. What's the name of the master table? We already gave answer that last time in class.
That happened. They try everything.
Emma, the name is Evening.
No.
Really?
No, the name is not the same name as the schema. No. The master table has the same name as something else, but it doesn't have the same name of the schema.
So you mean Mahidi? No, Mahidi is a directory.
Yeah, Maridi is
It's a directory.
for once the answer is not on the I mean the answer is not on the screen. If you're trying to figure out from the screen.
HR.employees.
No.
Evening.sys.
Evening.sys is the name of the master table.
He's asking.
I'm asking him, he's asking me back.
Yeah. Never mind.
Aman, you're close.
Oh, you say I'm close?
Yeah.
Even in the class.
Even Pafa.
I say he's close and you're going one step back. Come on.
Evening, Daki.
Evening.
Evening, Daki.
No. Well, why kiddo? Why? I mean, I'm just wondering.
Evening.class.
Evening.class is the name of the table itself, not the master table.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna help you. You guys remember we say that the name of the master table is the same name as the name of the job itself. You guys remember?
Oh, so evening.sys underscore export underscore table space.
Except that that's not the job. That's the export job, right? That's the exporter of the table space. But you're right. The name is evening.sys underscore export underscore tables underscore 01. So let's get the exact name. But that's exactly the name of the master table. So instead of table space, it should be table. Where is it? Class2.log. And you can get that information from wait. Okay, the name of the master table actually changed to evening underscore sys underscore SQL underscore file underscore full 01. But from the original, let's see, from the first log for the export, it was evening.sys underscore export underscore table underscore 01, right? But since we use the SQL file parameter, it actually changed the name of the master table. But originally, this was the name of the master table, right? Evening.sys export table space table underscore 01. So okay, so I'm going to select all from the master table. Since the name of the master table changed, which I actually find weird. I found it very strange, but But this is the name. There's nothing I can do about that. That's the name. Why did he change the name of the master table? Because of the SQL file. Okay, let's just select all. Select all from the master table. Oh, no. That was not. What's going on? Let me now use this one, because I know normally this is the name of the master table. Let's select all from this one. Am I in the right database here? I must not be. Okay, I'm not in the right database. I'm selecting all on purpose. You guys would see how crazy it is. So this is not the one. The master table should always be the name of the job itself. So this is basically the master table. Let me make it full screen so that you guys can see. I will cancel it after 2 minutes because it's a very big table. So in case you guys were wondering, like, what's actually a master table? It's actually an object, right? Logical. It's actually a real table, and it does contain the information about the objects that are being exported and about the job. It monitors the job and takes all the information that it needs for the export job. So by default, when an export is done, it would drop the table. So the table would not remain in the database, in the target database. But if you want, you can always keep the master table, just if you want to have some information about the job. Are we good?
Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so after export, the master table is being uploaded or is being deleted.
After export?
Yeah, after export.
What do you mean after export?
Import or export?
I want you to even rephrase what you just said. After export, the master table is created and is added in the dump file. At the end of the export, the master table is loaded in the dump file.
Okay, at the end of the export.
Yes.
Okay, so it's added.
Yes, it's in the dump file. It's created even at the beginning of the export job, of the export, because it keeps track and all the information about the data of the export job.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually the first thing that's taking place. If you notice, when you perform an export with data pump, you see that the third thing, it first estimates the export. The second thing is creating the master table. And then the third thing is then exporting the data.
Okay.
We good? Yes. So the master table is actually the first object that you have in the dump file. At the beginning, I mean, it needs to make sense, right? So the master table is not in the original, in the source database. It's as soon as, I don't know if you have the export job from ever, probably not. Let's see. Hopefully we do. No, we don't have export jobs from this side. But at the beginning of the export job, the master table is first created. The very first thing that takes place is to estimate the time. Not estimate the size of the job, of the data pump job. That's the first thing. The second thing is creating the master table. right?
Mhm.
Okay. We good? Any other question? No? Okay. Now I'm going to describe that master table. Okay. So those are all the information that we have about the master table that the master table holds. So the process order, the application, the dump file item, the position, the dump length, the dump allocation, the elapsed time. Okay, that's actually an interesting. So we will be able to see what was the last time from the beginning of the job, import to the end. So let's select, or no, select elapsed time from that weird name. Should I be more specific? No, that's a first. Okay, 110 seconds. So total, the export and the import took 100, which makes sense, right? I think the export took like maybe 40, I don't know, I don't remember. And so both included, import, export took 109 seconds. Okay. So it has the information about the name of the file type, the user file name, the process name, the last update. So it does contain all the information about the job that's being done, about the objects that are being exported. So this is basically the master. Very good, like a secretary. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. I think we are going to finish with which is interesting. Okay, I have a question for you guys. A very interesting question. Okay, I have a question for you guys. Okay, do you guys know what a flat file is? What's a flat file? It's a very easy question, though. There is no trick behind it. I promise.
I promise.
There's no behind. It's a straight answer.
The file that is flat.
Yes, right. It's a file that is flat, right? But what else?
It's empty.
No, it's not an empty file. What's flat? What's flat? It's like you know, when something is flat, it's like uncomplicated.
Like it's in a uniform manner?
Honestly, it's very basic, and it's a very, very basic answer.
It's not heavy?
No, it's not about the size.
Okay, so Emma, like what if you say like a keep record?
Compare it to a complicated control file. Compare the flat file to a complicated control file, for example. Control files are complicated, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you open it and all the gibberish, you should not open it, of course. But a flat, right? It's just a text, basically.
Breaking.
Text.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, breaking.
Devil is a liar. Am I speaking?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
doesn't matter.
Hello. Can you guys hear me now?
There's an echo.
Yeah. Right. Fix your echo.
It's better? I'm speaking?
No.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, today has been very, very hard day. My connection. Okay.
It's a text database. I cheat.
It's a text database.
Yes, I cheat.
Yes, it's a text file. Oh, it's a text file. Hello. Is it better?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is a text file. It's a simple text file, and you get data in it. Did you guys ever use a flat file?
No.
I don't even know what a flat file is. You asked me.
I just said it's a text file, literally.
Emo, check your connection again, please.
A P file? Would that be a flat file?
A flat file database is a database that store data.
I didn't ask about the flat file database. I asked about, is it better now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my, sorry, it was my hotspot connection. I've had it since this morning because the house connection. Okay, so I didn't ask about the flat file database. I asked about the flat file. And yes, it's simply a text file, right? Is that simple? That's why I say there is no trick. It's just simple answer. Okay, now I have a question for you guys, and I know you guys will have the answer.
We cheat.
Go ahead, cheat. It's good to cheat. No, it's not good to cheat, of course.
It's not good.
Okay, so did you guys ever exported data from the database to a flat file? Should I ask it again?
Yes, please.
Did you guys ever exported data from a database to a flat file? Or did you guys ever exported a table from your database to a flat file? Did you guys ever do that?
We just did that.
When? When did we just do it?
When we create a table.
Did we export the table to a flat file?
No.
So why do you say we just did it?
Because you said it's a text file.
I know.
So we can export
and
it.
It contains data.
Yeah.
I'm asking you, right? Did you guys ever do it? If you did it, tell me when you did it.
Amen. Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Well, maybe I must have done it, but I didn't know I was doing it. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I've ever done it.
Okay, since someone used the example of the export job, it doesn't work. The export job, the log, no, it doesn't work. This is just the log information basically of the job itself. It's not the data in the database. So that one doesn't work. But did you guys ever done it? And if you say no, you guys know that I know what you guys did and I know what you guys didn't do. So I know that you guys did it, not once, but at least 10 times, at least. If not, maybe 20 or 30 times. And for the people who really do the assignment a lot, maybe 50 times. You guys have exported data from the database to a flat file. Now, who can give me an example?
The contact?
No. Contact just records the log file that you have in Contact, right? It will just give you the job that is done. It doesn't give you the information about the actual data in the database. But there is something that you guys did that would give you the actual data that are in the database.
Database
Actual.
Okay, like spool?
Exactly, spool. Exactly. When you spool, let me spool, right? Let me change that. Sorry, actually. Let me just see the end list. Let me spool. Dot output or whatever, right? And let me just select all from HR.employees, right? Let's pull off. What did I just do? What did I just do?
You copy data to a text file.
I just exported data to a text file. I just exported the whole content of
the database
of HR employees to a text file. So I just exported data, all the data of HR employees to a text file. So I can use that flat file, I can use that text file to now import the data from that text, from that flat file to another database.
Really?
By using SQL Loader, yes. But this is part of your assignment. This weekend assignment.
That's interesting.
But I will show. I know, right? I told you guys that today class would be very interesting, right? Even though I had no break today, but it's okay. Very interesting. Okay, so it's so interesting. Now I'm going to show you guys how to import the data. Okay, before making it complicated and stuff, I will first make it easy so that everybody can understand with only 2 columns and 5 rows or even 4 rows, something basic. And then next class, we'll do the other way when we are dealing with 100 columns. I mean, no, 10, 12 columns and 100 rows. We good? Okay. So we are going to use SQL Loader. So there are different steps. Let me open this. So you guys saw that there are so many different ways we need to import and export data, but you didn't even realize that you were exporting data. No. If the data moves from one place to another, you exported it, right? Am I still breaking?
No, you're good.
So export data within. So and in parentheses, I'm going to put import, basically to import. Because to export, you just need to spool. It's the fastest way. You spool, but you just make sure that you use the right statement to make sure that it's easy. Because in that format, it would take a lot of editing, right? But you can use, okay, that's a question for later. Let's first read over with. So the very first thing we want to do is to create a table where we are going to add data. So I'm going to connect back to SQL. And we are going to create a very simple table, uncomplicated table. So create table. What's the name of the table? I need to connect as evening. So that it belongs to evening. Create table. What's the name?
Evening.
Of the table. Evening 2? Really?
Evening smart.
Okay, smart. Create table smart. Oh, you guys are smart.
Yes.
No, please, can you move your screen up a little? Like, it's really hard to see the bottom.
Okay, okay. Oops, I cannot escape. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Okay, so we are creating the table smart. And okay, what would be the name of the first column? It's your table, it's not mine. What's the name of the first column? Smart ID. Okay. Smart underscore ID. What's the data type?
Number.
Number.
Let's not make it complicated with the keys and stuff. Let's just make it as basic as possible. The second one, what would be the name of the second column?
Smart name.
Smart man.
Smart name.
Smart mean.
Name underscore name.
Smart underscore name. Okay. Smart underscore name. Okay. What's the data type?
Should be letter.
Exactly.
Vakatu.
Vakatu what? Just Vakatu?
20.
30.
You guys love Vakatu 20. You guys just love Vakatu 20. Okay. No, I've just noticed. It always comes Vakatu. Okay. So our table is created. So the very first step is to create a table. Step 1, create table or use existing, right? So either you create a table or you use an existing table. Obvious. But if you use an existing table, you need to make sure that you're aware of the structure of that table before inserting into that table, right?
Right.
She's giving me ideas.
What?
I won't bring it for exam. It's never come before, so it wouldn't be nice. Okay, so we created a table. The next step is to create the flat file. Second step is create flat file. So we are going to add data in our flat file. Let me see. What are we going to add? Simple. We say that let's check the data type, number, and okay, so I'm going to add the data to one smart name. Who's the first smart? What's the name of the smart? 3, 4. 4 smarts. Nobody?
Bibish.
Okay. Bibish, the
Yeah.
first smart. Okay.
Amen.
Amen. Second smart.
Bello.
Bello.
Thank you, Anita.
Anita.
Tattoo. Tattoo.
Is Armand with 2 N or
Yes. 2 N.
Yes, it's 2N.
one? Wow. Okay, so this is the flat file. We are going to create the flat file, and we are only going to put those data, those information in the flat file. So let's see. Where are we? We're not working directory. So I'm going to VI and I'm going to create the flat file. So smart, I'm going to name it smart dot but it can be something else. It doesn't have to be that. It can be V. Oops.
Insert.
I know I can see it. It's white, so it's okay. So we added the 4. We're good. Let's cat. Make sure that we inserted the right detail. Below Anita. Okay, so this what the first one will be for the first column, the second one for the second column. Now we have the table, we have the flat file. What else do we need? Fair to ask. The control file. So it's basically the control file of the SQL loader job. So you want to specify how to insert the data and what data should be inserted. So it's basically we load the data. This is the content of the control file. Let me add some additional information. This how data should. Are we good? So it contains instructions. Are we good? So this is the control file, right? It contains instructions about how to insert. We good?
Okay.
I did. Okay. Now we want to load. We are using SQL loader, right? So we are going to load data into the table. What's the name of the table?
Evening.
That's not the name of the table.
It's not smart.
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 Okay, but it's evening.smart. She's right. But we don't need to specify evening.smart because we will connect to SQL loader as evening, right?
Okay.
But the table is evening.smart. Load into table smart, insert. Now we are going to insert. Now you want to specify what we are going to insert into, and you want to specify the specific name of the columns. So, and you want to add I'll explain. Okay. So basically here, right? I'm letting, you can see that here we only have a file. You have 1, Bibish, 2, Bello, 3, Anita, 4, Arman. So it doesn't know what goes where, right? So here we are specifying that fields terminated by comma. It basically means that between each columns, right? Each data from different columns are separated by comma, right? And there are additional parameters that you can add information, but for now, let's just do this one. And then we want to specify the email. We want to specify the columns. What's the name of the column? Smart _ ID. And the second thing you want to specify is the second column, which is smart _ name. We good?
Yeah.
Then that's it. Good. Comma here. And of course, it doesn't have to be in one line. Everything could just be in one line like this. Are we good? So this is just to see the difference between everything. Are we good?
Yeah, sure.
Now we are going to create a control file for the job. Yeah, smart.ctl control. And I'm going to just copy this. Voila. So I added the information, smart ID, smart name, load data into table. So we already have the flat file, so the data that we are going to add. So the control file is just instructing where to add the data. You good?
Yep.
Save. Let me cut it. Smart dot. This is what we have. Of course, it could have been in one line, but it's really up to you. You good? Now there is one last thing. We don't have to have a parameter file, but I found that with SQL Loader, it's easier to have just a parameter file. So the first step is to create our power file. This is a power file, but for SQL
Loader.
You good? So the same power file we talked about for EMPDP and EXP. Power file, SQL Loader. So we said earlier that we connect with the user, right? Name and password for evening, identified by evening. So for data pump, just put the specific user here. For data pump, you cannot put the name of the user in the power file. You guys know that, right? I probably didn't say it, so it's okay. For data pump, you don't put the name of the user in the power file. It's only for SQL. For data pump, you have to put the name of the user in the statement itself, or you can just, it will be prompted to you to enter it for yourself, but you never put the name of the user in the power file. Are we good? The next one, you want to specify you can add the log file, for example, if you want. And we don't have a dump file here, we just have a log file. Actually, the flat file replaced the dump file, if you think about it. So we have the log file. What would be the name of the log file? Smart.log. We have the equivalent of the dump file. What do you?
Flat file.
Yes, the flat file, exactly. So it's like data. This is the flat file. It's named data. So it's smart dot dot. But it can end with anything. It can end with txt if you want. So it's data. The parameter is data, right? So smart dot dot. I want to make sure this is actually what we put in there. Smart dot dot. And then you want to specify the name of the control file. It's smart.ctl, I believe. I didn't list it. Smart.ctl, smart. Okay. Okay, smart.ctl. Now, if something fails, like if, for example, some comments are not successfully, if some job fails, it would be reported inside the details about it would be reported in the in a specific file, but this one is optional. You don't have to add it. You can name it whatever you want, txt or whatever. Then for the last one, you can specify if you want it to go directly. No. Am I still breaking? Like it seems something like there's a noise like it's breaking. Yeah. Am I the one breaking?
Some noise.
Is Armand here?
Herman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's making some weird noise in the background. Okay, it's better now. Okay, there is one last that we want to add is direct path data access. For it to directly have access to the data files like we saw for data pump last time, and we set it to true or false. By default, it wouldn't use it, but when you set it to true, it will have direct path data access. So, and it will directly load the information into the data files. Are we good? But this one is optional, but it makes it faster as well. Okay, I think we are done, and we are ready now to upload the data. So, oh, I need to create it first. I didn't create the profile. Me, VI. The name smart dot. Now the user ID. We have the log file. We have the data file. The flat file. We have the control file. We have the bag file. If there is anything that goes wrong would just be added in the bad file, and we have it set. We have the direct path after data access set to true. Okay, now we are going to use SQL loader. I'm going to call the utility SQL loader, and we'll want to specify the name of the power file. You see, it's the same as for Oracle, for data pump. Okay. What is it saying? SQL loader -100 syntax error on command line. Okay, so there's an error somewhere. Let me go back over each one. Now the table. I'll just check the parameters. It all depends on the parameter that I added. So this one is fine. The flat file is fine. Let me check the control file. Load into insert terminated by. This one is fine. I don't think this matters. Let me just list it and get the output, the result. Where is that power coming from? Okay. I'm just going to go back and look at each one of them and edit it. This one doesn't have any problem. Sure. Use the other one. Let's use a control file. Load data into table. This one too is fine. And let's see the last one. The par file. The ID, evening, identify by evening, my.log. Change it. I don't think this will make a difference. Everything looks perfect to me, but let's see. SQL. Let me check if I'm connected to the right environment first. LSTMO. Yes. /access. Wait, why is it shut down? Okay. When did it shut down? So that was the problem, it was shut down. We just created a table in TLS demo, right? Yes. Anyway, I'm not sure what happened. Why it crashed. Of course, if the database is shut down, no data would be inserted in anything. So let's describe evening dot smart. Okay, it's there. Now, let me use SQL again. The same issue. Okay, it's actually giving the error here. A known parameter name log file. Oh, okay. Guys, I see what went wrong. Okay, it's not log file, it's log. Not log file, it's log. My bad. It's not log file, it's log. It gives you the when processing small that part. So that's because the log file was wrong. So I need to change the parameter file again. I just need to view and change it. It's not the log file, it's log. Okay, load completed. Logical record count 4, right? So let's connect to SQL. Yes, that's the thing with this one. Don't use exclamation SQ because it's going to. Okay, now I'm going to select, you guys remember that that table was empty, right? So I'm going to select all from evening dot smart. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have Bibish, Bello, Anita, and Arman. Are we good? So yes. Make sure you're careful because sometimes it can be confusing. It's not log file, it's log. It's not control file, it's control. So just because with the export, import is log file. So that's why I put log file, but it's log. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
So those are basically the steps I gave it to you guys. Shay, don't ask me to send it to you guys because I will not. You guys should have log writers.
Emerald.
Yes.
on step 4.
You're on step 4?
When you said bad equals smart dot text, can you explain?
You were on step 4 when I say that?
No. On step 4, it says the
last parameter there, the bad
equals smart.
Oh, that the parameter bad. Okay, it's basically if there are wrong records that were not added to the table, it would keep those information there basically. So you'd be able to have the information about the record that were not able to be added, to the table. But that one is also optional. This one is optional. The bad one is optional. And yeah, that's it.
How about a direct equal true?
Direct is optional as well. It's the direct path data access. You remember from last time we talked about it, right? One of the advantages of export and import is that they change the direct path data access to make it so that you directly have access to the data blocks, right? Instead on disk, instead of going through SQL to have access to the block. So it's the same here. It would directly apply the changes to the blocks in the data files. And when we don't set it to true, by default, it is set to false. Are we good?
Okay. Mufakash full.
Mufakash is cool. Okay. So you guys saw how we did it. Okay, we did this. Honestly, it's not hard. Just make sure you don't confuse log file with log, because since it's almost the same thing, it's still import and importing data. And what else? Make sure there is no typo here. Don't put fields, you know. So we'll do another practice, but we will be inserting all the data. Oh yes, one last question before we leave. We only have one last question before we leave. You guys are seeing the format, right, of the flat file, the way things were added to the flat file, right? Mm-hmm. And you guys also saw when we, when we cut the other one. Yes, when we cut testing.output. So how can we make, you guys would agree with me that adding the data the way they look right now would be complicated and hard, right?
Kind of.
So what would you guys use? What tool would you guys use that we have seen together to make it appear like that? Exactly like that. To make it SQL loader friendly, what would you guys use? I'm sure you guys know. I'm sure Anita knows.
Anita, answer.
Anita, answer.
Is it sequence?
No, not sequence. It's a select statement. It's a specific type of select statement that would allow the result to be displayed in such a manner.
Oh, by order?
No.
No.
It's there. I can feel like it's close. It's close. What did you say?
Ascending or descending?
No. You guys are not far. You're close. You're around there, chapter 3, 4. No, not 3. 2, maybe. Should I give you guys a tip?
Line size?
No. Changing the line size wouldn't change much. It's the way the result would come out. Changing the line size would actually benefit if it wouldn't fit in the table. But setting the line size wouldn't help you make it appear like that in this format.
Set the column format.
No. You guys know it. If I give you a tip, even the smallest tip, you guys would give the answer. You guys want a tip?
Yeah.
First letter.
C.
Is it C?
Yes.
Column, username, form.
Username starts with C.
Yes. Column starts with C.
Username starts with C.
I was going to give a tip, but he asked for the first letter, so. I'm gonna give you, it's a word that is annoying to pronounce. I don't even like to pronounce it. That's why I want you guys to say it.
Nation.
Exactly.
What did you say, Anita?
Concatenation.
Concatenation.
Oh.
This one?
Concatenation.
So you use concatenation, right?
Oh wow, concatenation.
I told you guys that if I gave you the tip, because it would come out, because that word is just, I don't know who created that word. So if you use concatenation, right, you select the first column, you use the concatenation sign, comma, concatenation sign, second column, concatenation sign, column, concatenation sign, third column, all, and fourth, you guys, it would come out looking like this, exactly like this. And then you can just remove the columns, the metadata, and then you just insert in the table. It's done in like, in 0 seconds, it's done. But in that case, you would need to not set the line size, but you would need to set the page size. Let's take a look. Actually, I'm giving you extra information. You would need to set the page size so that it would just appear on the whole page and the data would just be compressed instead of being like having a column here, right? Having columns on top of, it would be just the whole page of data. Are we good? So that's when it's necessary and useful to use the page size. So set page size to something big so that you will only need to remove just one, just the metadata, the first metadata for the column, and that's it. But here, for example, here, you would have to remove that, and then this, right? And then that. That's because the page size is very low. Are we good? Don't worry, guys. We will practice that next class. And we are done for today. Buffer cache pool, isn't it?
Emerald, well done. You really tried today. Good job.
Oh, thank you.
Go home and get some rest now.
Thank you. I deserve some rest. I know.
Yeah, you do. You do. You've really done a good job. Good night.
Good night.
Okay. Guys, before you go, please, can I say something about the? So this is about the Sunday class. So something came up, and Emerald will not be available after 8. So yeah, this leaves us to very little options. What do you guys think?
Good Sunday or all the Sundays?
Oh.
It depends on our needs.
I can only push it to 8:30, but not later than that.
You can just start at 4.
I think 4 is better.
Yeah, let's start at 4.
Yeah, 4 is okay. 4 should be fine. Yeah, hello?
Okay.
Dimara Defi Nawiti.
All right, that's it, right?
All right, so we set for 4 p.m., right? Sunday.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we don't have any choice at this point.
Yeah.
All right, good night.
Thank you, Anita.
Okay.
Thanks, Emerald.
Bye.